Hi, guys. Another chilly day here in Illinois and trying to figure out something to do to pass the day. Well, I know what we can do. We can go record shopping. This is Man Card Theater. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Man Card Theater. Today, we're going to do something that I enjoy maybe a little too much, and that's going shopping for vinyl. I'm one of those, I don't go to Walmart and buy one of the new pressings. I'm not one of those that goes to the big time record stores and pays $70 for an album that I want. For me, part of the fun is the thrill of the hunt. And there's not an album out there that I absolutely have to have. So you'll find me at thrift stores, antique shops, uh, Goodwill, yard sales. As long as they're not sitting in the sun and I find something I want, I'm going to go and get it. One of the things that I've run into though is over the years, I will find an album, oh, I really like this, only to find out when I get it home, I already had it. So I've gotten to that point where I've got more albums that I know what to do with, and it's hard to keep them straight. So before this video's over, we're going to take a look at a way of cataloging the albums and hopefully get to the point where we don't run into this. I was all sorts of excited to find the Concert for Bangladesh on Apple Music. And I got it. I paid probably $5 for it, and I brought it home. Guess what? I already had it. So sometimes it works out. I get a better copy in the end, but a lot of times I've just wasted my money. So let's look at that cataloging, and why don't we get off to the Quad Cities and make a day of it.
We didn't get far, and before we knew it, we were in Coal Valley, and we had to stop at the Antique Mall. As you can see, there were a lot of good albums in this particular spot. A lot of 70s, 80s classics, and I know what you're saying. You're saying, Kevin, look at this. You're passing up all the good ones. Well, the truth is, this isn't my first rodeo. There's many of these that I've already got, and some of them the prices were just maybe a little too high for what I wanted to spend. And like I said, it's the thrill of the hunt. You don't have to buy it the very first time you see something you want. You can just pick out whatever suits your fancy that day and look for the bargains, and it can make for a really good time. So sit back, just watch, and I hope you enjoy looking at all these vintage album covers. don't forget, if you like what you see, to hit like and subscribe to my channel. Always looking for new subscribers, and don't be afraid to share it with all of your friends. Before long, there was a whole nother building to go through. And don't be adjusting your set when you look at this. For some reason, the lights were real funky in the building, and we got a little bit of flicker in the camera, but that shouldn't stop us from looking through all these good albums. Couldn't just leave it out. You'll see there'll be one in particular that I just had to get. So sit back, enjoy, and we'll talk to you in a few minutes. After we got done in Coal Valley, we were off to the Iowa side of the Quad Cities. And we're going to look at a whole different aspect of my record collection, what I find at the Goodwill. That's right, you know, I told you before in other videos that at times I can be cheap, and this is a good place to find albums on the cheap. But I'll tell you one thing, you gotta look through a lot of garbage or stuff that our grandparents would listen to in order to find just that right album. So sit back and look at a few of the selections at the Goodwill, and we'll be back and talk to you in a few. It is time to look at today's bounty. We got Eddie Money, No Control. Saturday Night Fever soundtrack. I already had it, but this one was in pristine condition, so I couldn't pass it up for $1. White Knight soundtrack. I always think it's cool when they have the hype sticker still on it. And it's also kind of cool to see the original price when it was bought new. Jay and the Americans' Greatest Hits. Everybody loves Come a Little Bit Closer. This one I was really excited about, the American Anthem soundtrack. It contains Andy Taylor's Take It Easy. Andy Taylor you might know as a member of Duran Duran, and he had the theme song as a solo hit, but I'll be darned if I can't find it anywhere on Apple Music, Amazon, any of those streaming services. It's like it just fell off the face of the earth. So we picked it up for that. Here's one of the landmark albums, The Outlaws. You can't go wrong with this one. I believe it's the first album in country music to sell over 1 million copies. Waylon and Willie, primarily on there. And it's good start to finish. Peter Schilling. You're probably saying who? Well, do you remember the song Major Tom in the mid-'80s? That's his one and only hit. And for $1, I couldn't pass it up. And then, of course, Gordon Lightfoot, Sundown. It's one of those classics that just never gets old. And I found a better copy than the one I have, and we're gonna listen to that one. So what are we going to do with all these albums? What I've found is to use a little app called Discog. You can go on the Apple Store or your Google Store or whatever store you're using, and you can go to Discogs and download this app, and it is a handy way of cataloging everything that you've got. You can see from my screen here, this is off of my phone, I can just scroll through and see all of the albums that I currently have cataloged, and right now I'm well over 600 in here already cataloged, but out in the garage I probably have another 400 to 500 more that I need to enter. But it's real easy. You don't have to download any of the pictures or anything like that. You don't have to download much of anything. It's just a matter of going in and typing the name of your album, and it populates for you, and we'll show you how to do that here in just a moment. But you can see from some of the stuff that you see on your screen there, I've got quite the collection. It's not just one type, it's not just one genre, it's not one age and time. I've got a little bit of everything: country, rock, rap, 60s, 70s, 80s. Even a few 90s. You know, those are kind of hard to find because by that time everybody had their compact discs, and vinyl was kind of left behind. So we're taking a look at how to enter some of the information, and in this case we're going to enter the Outlaws album that I purchased today. So we're just going to type in the name of the album, and you can see it's already starting to pop up there. What we're going to do is hit OK, and up in the corner it's right there. I just click on the button that looks like books and select it, and we are ready to go. The last part is the part I hate the most, and that's trying to put all these albums in alphabetical order. You can see that I've got a nice little bookcase here in the house, and like I said, I've only got about 600 in the house so far. But I've had the painstaking task of going through and putting them through A to Z, soundtracks, various artists, and it's a lot harder than it sounds, because if you get one of those early letters, you got to move everything past that to make room. So when you've done it, you better enjoy it. Well, there you have it. A little bit about my record shopping, my cataloging, and my storage. I hope you've enjoyed it. It might not be the most interesting to some of you, but it's something I do with my free time. And if you do like what you see, hit like, hit share, be a subscriber. Do whatever you can to get the word out there about Man Card Theater. And once again, don't forget to keep your man card punched.